Good morning or afternoon. It is another lovely spring, I want to say, day. We're doing our steps. We're talking about role-playing. We're celebrating the Herculean feat of reaching 2,000 subs, something I never thought I'd be able to do. We're reminiscing on all the things we've done over the past 9 years, all the things we wanted to do, and all the things we still maybe can do with a little time YouTube D&D has left. Of course, that's the main topic, is YouTube no longer loves D&D, and therefore D&D is over. That's a weird logic leap, but I guess it makes sense because so many people have come up associating D&D with YouTube that it's kind of hard to think that, wait, the game existed before YouTube and people all over the world were playing it before YouTube. But yeah, you know, the game's been around since the 70s. YouTube's not been around that long. I mean, so I can understand the panic, but it was inevitable, I think. I don't think people are just going to give up posting D&D or playing D&D. At least I hope not. But a lot of people are going to have to, pivot, rethink what they want to do if they've just been depending upon that YouTube money for all this time, and now finding that YouTube money isn't happening. Well, hopefully they had a backup planned, of some sort. I did, I still do. And speaking of did, so I was digging around through the different YouTube channels and the Facebook to try and find some of the oldest stuff I'd ever posted. And if you go to the comments section, you can see some pictures dating all the way back from like 214, 2012, all the way up to 2022 of Seth's and playing at Seth's and running at Seth's and hanging out at Seth's. I found the oldest video on this channel, which all the way back to when I was living at Site A. And April of 2017, where I just hit 100 subs and was talking about Invisible Suns, the $200 role-playing game, and spicy food, and surprisingly superhero games. What a shock that some of my earliest videos on this channel would be superhero games. And that was me still just showing face cam and not showing the screen. So it was just me talking to the computer and reading stuff, which people said was boring. They wanted to see things. So that was about the time I did oh wait, I can show you what's on the screen. And then the face went away and became the first of the many digital avatars. And that was back when this channel had a different name. I mean, I know there's a certain individual who claims he's only known for me throughout 3 years, and I've only been on YouTube for about 3 years. But I don't know, this video from 2017 seems to say otherwise. Now, the original name was Mike on the Mic, because that was my name when I was doing DJ at KVCM in Van Nuys, 83 AM, Van Nuys, California. Mike on the Mic in the morning. That was fun. And then I switched it to GM Grumpy. I wanted Grumpy GM, but somebody had already taken Grumpy GM, so I did GM Grumpy. And you could find the original icon that I used for the original digital avatar in the collection of photos in the comments section from the Seth's Games and Anime stuff. So it was GM Grumpy for a while. And then switched to OGGM just before I moved, about a year before I moved from Site A to Site B, I think is when I switched and started to try and be more positive, which I failed at. But, you know, I had all these plans because COVID. Suddenly I had a lot of free time. And the world was open up, and I thought I was going to go places. I was going to visit game stores. I was going to go do all these things that I could do because free time, and I could just wander down the streets without worrying about traffic, you know. I didn't do half of the ones I had planned because a lot of the plans that I had, Ventura didn't facilitate. Like, remember the one where I was gonna only live off of convenience store food? Yeah, well, that failed because we hardly have any convenience stores here in Ventura. We've got like a Circle K, and we have a couple Circle Ks. We've got, of course, the gas station convenience stores, and then we had, I don't know how long we've had the 7-Eleven, but it hasn't been very long. I think the 7-Eleven's only been open like maybe 5 years, and it was at the other end of town. So the survive all day on just convenience food didn't work. Then there was the visit every vending machine in Ventura and see if I could live off of a day on just vending machines. Well, that didn't work because there are none. I went to the college and I figured, well, they're gonna have tons of vending machines, right? In their cafeteria and in their student thing. Nope. No, I think they had one soda machine and a candy bar machine, right? And then I went to the hospital because I figured, oh, well, the hospital's gonna have vending machines. Every TV show ever, you see people in the hospital getting coffee and food from the vending machine. They did have 2 vending machines, but our hospital doesn't have a lot of vending machines because they apparently have an amazing cafeteria. And all the guys and the doctors prefer the cafeteria. So other than the typical soda candy machine duo, no, it's the living off of vending machines product didn't work. And then I thought I'd go, oh, the bus, but then I was like, nah, I'm not gonna go all the way to the bus station and then find out they only have 2 vending machines. And turns out a few weeks later I had to go to the bus station anyways to renew my disability bus pass. So I went and looked, 2 vending machines. Guaranteed gonna find the soda candy machine duo. But other than that, yeah, look at, I'm in Japan and I can live off vending machines all day. Yeah, I'm in America. It's not gonna happen. Maybe if I lived in some place with a more egalitarian lifestyle, but this is a beach town that grew up way too fast, so I don't know. Then I was gonna do the chicken sandwich wars. Remember that? The chicken sandwich wars, where I was gonna do a different chicken sandwich every day. That got way too expensive. I think I made it 2 days in a row before I failed that challenge. Then we did the spicy ramen challenge, hit 50 spicy ramen, hit 100 spicy ramen. I do not understand the spicy ramen thing. I mean, 1 or 2, sure, I guess, but a couple hundred, it's like, is it really that big of a market for spicy ramen? I mean, I guess there is. I don't know, man. It just seems like there's a lot. And then there's spicy, there's super spicy, there's double super secret spicy, there's don't even open this spicy. But I just went for the one that they had at the 99-cent store. And it was spicy. And it was not the fun spice. It was not the, this is delicious, smoky barbecue salsa spice. This was the burn your lips, burn the back of your throat, make you want to throw up spice. It's not the fun spice. I don't see the attachment of spice. But I ate it. I ate it. It took way longer to make than I thought it would. For some reason. I don't know why. Boil water. Pour in. Done. Right? No. There were steps. Because apparently, you know, it's basically chemistry. But we ate it. And here's what I discovered. It was spicy. But what you get past the spicy, the noodles were amazing. Oh, I'll go. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, dogs. Good afternoon, other dog. How come you don't have to be other thing? Cute little pug. So that for instant ramen noodles, they were amazing. So I went back and got another one and ate it without the spice. Wow, how come not every cup ramen uses these noodles? Because first, they were amazing noodles. They were tasty. They had amazing consistency. I don't know. So then we did the MRE. My friend Jackson gave me an MRE that he had laying around. I think it was, I want to say lasagna. And that took longer to make than I thought it would. But we made it. We ate it. It wasn't bad. And then I just realized the doing weird food without access to someplace that has more weird food was never going to work. So I was like, okay, send me weird food. And occasionally DM Kurt would send me weird food. But mostly, yeah, that didn't happen. There were a lot of experiments we tried. Then we just tried, you know, going back to our first channel and just doing Minecraft for a while. That didn't really work. So then we just settled on the format. The format was, you know, we were bouncing around on the CM Punk idea for the format. Good afternoon. But then I think we fell into what has become the OGGM format. And obviously the format has evolved depending on circumstances. But we got the news and bundle thingy on Monday. We've got Wizards of the Coast centric Wednesday. And then we've got Game Shop news and crowdfunding project news on Friday. On Saturday we do the shout outs. That's something we started this year. I'm very surprised that, as far as I know, until recently I was the only person that was doing the shout outs, positive shout outs, doing the raids. And weird, because it seems like it's such a simple idea, but now other people are doing it. Either they copied me, which is great, or they were doing it before me, but now I'm just aware of them. And then we started doing the bi-weekly live play, which I think is going okay. I don't know. We've done a couple interviews. I always mean to do more interviews or show up on more streams, but then my anxiety and my exhaustion just gets in the way, you know? And I always feel weird, like just showing up on a stream uninvited just to shill my stuff or, you know, give my 2 cents on a topic. But I guess, you know, that's my imposter syndrome. My anxiety is like, is it okay if I show up uninvited on your stream and talk about the latest thing I published, or do you have to like say, hey, I want to talk about your thing, come on? But everybody says in order to get your stuff out there, you gotta show up on streams more. Plus I kind of have fallen into this rut of just shutting everything down after 5 and not doing anything on Sundays, because my brain can only take so much computer. Especially since Steve wakes me up at like 4 most mornings. So even though I don't start till 8, there's 4 hours in there where I'm looking at the news, both gaming and non-gaming related, playing my daily Hearthstone quest, because I still play Hearthstone while I'm eating breakfast, tracking my stock, because let's remember I still have stock, not only the Hasbro stock, but I did buy some other stock during the pandemic. Tracking, just generally I just pitter around for 4 hours. I write early in the morning, read the news, and then I start my online life around 8 and end my on life around 11, 12, lunch, go back for the second half of my on life, check to see if there's any stories that I need to comment on, check the streams, check Twitter, go back to writing and exchanging emails and conversations and talking to various doctors. And then around 5, I turn the computer off, just sit for like an hour, have dinner around 6, and then watch TV or read with Steve till about 9 or 10 when I go to sleep. And which, unfortunately, that's usually the time everybody else is streaming, is in the evening. I'm on reverse time. One thing, I'm on California time, and 99% of everybody else doesn't live in California. As far as I know, I'm the only liberal YouTuber in California. Except for Shadow, I guess. And Jen and Mike. Okay, so there's a couple of us, but I think that, I'm the biggest. I'm the only one that's won awards. No, I wish there was a larger community of people who were up the same hours I am that I could talk to, but most people have normal lives. So they're not home till 4 or 5. And then if they're going to do anything, it's going to be 5 till 9. So here I am going, well, I've been up since 4, and about 9 is when I want to go to bed. Because that's about when all the meds start kicking in too. And everything's like, because you got to take all those meds with meals. So I take all the evening meds around dinner time. And then, there you go. I don't know what any of that had to do with the initial topic of this, which was revisiting the very first video. I just spent 18 minutes basically talking about the history of the hobby and the history of the channel. There were things I wanted to do that never happened. Not having any support network whatsoever has not helped. I mean, I don't have a lot of friends in Ventura. Almost everyone has moved. There is no active gaming community in Ventura, and there hasn't been for a long time. There are no game stores that openly support the hobby in Ventura. The nearest is Xander's in Camarillo, if anybody's familiar with it. I don't get a lot of support in any other things. There's nobody out there fighting for me. There's nobody out there saying, hey, check out my cousin's YouTube channel. Hey, do you know anybody? I have done this all by myself with very limited income, very limited understanding of the interweb, and very little inability to do the things I wanted to do. And there's always a lot of hurdles that I fight against every day. Not only the headaches, which you guys have heard me talk about all the time, and the depression, and the anxiety, and the negative thoughts, and the imposter syndrome, and just, dealing with the pressure from family, dealing with the pressure to fit in a society that doesn't understand autism, that doesn't understand crippling depression that doesn't understand what it means to be asexual. You're not asexual, you just haven't gotten laid in a while. That my inability to get computers to do what they want. And people don't believe me when I tell them the stories about the computer. You know, they don't believe me when I say, oh, I got retired and they didn't tell me for 4 months. Nobody told me that I'd been retired. Nobody believes me that until I show them the paperwork, or the time I got fired and they forgot to tell me, or how about the time I didn't exist? Literally, they could not find any records of me. They had all somehow vanished. I had to prove I was still alive. I had to dig out my birth certificate, try and find anything that showed my name on it, predating the date. And then I had to legally change my name from my name and my last name to my name, my middle name, and my last name, because the name on my ID, the name on my birth certificate, and the name on my documents were not the same. So I had to go to the Social Security office, do all this, and when I finally got through everything and I explained everything to the Social Security caseworker, her response was, I've never seen this happen before. My response was, I have. It happens to me all the time. So I had to fight against that every day, wondering what computer malfunction, howdy, how you doing, is gonna hit me this time. I mean, just last night, I was trying to load Shadowdark Vigilantes, which I can't call Shadowdark Vigilantes apparently, onto drive-thru, and I couldn't. Literally could not. No matter how many times I followed the steps, I get to the last step and it would crash, cycle back to the first page, and tell me it's unlisted and it's for sale for nothing. And I have had this happened to me so many times on drive-thru. I literally had the drive-thru technical help guy tell me he'd never seen drive-thru do this before. The last time I fought with drive-thru, do you know how many, if I had $1 for every time somebody said to me in regards to a computer program they'd never seen it do that before, I'd feel a lot richer. So not only do I have the medical hurdles and the sociological hurdles, I have technical hurdles, I have financial hurdles where I don't have the wherewithal to throw the amount of money you would normally have at this channel to make it bigger than it is. I have scraped and clawed, while other people have surpassed me doing far less simply because they have greater access to support and finance, which I don't. And I don't begrudge them. I knew this was going to be tough. I had dreams of getting sponsorship. I had dreams people would help me out. I had dreams that the local gaming stores would support me. That fell through. So there's a lot of things I had planned from day one for the Mike on the Mic / GM Grumpy / OGGM adventures, and I stumbled a lot along the way. I am often my own worst enemy. There is definitely a subconscious self-destructiveness that runs through me, or just I give up. That's just whole part of the anxiety, depression, obsessive compulsiveness, self-destructive imposter syndrome that I deal with. I can't believe somebody's called me, a liar when I'm like so open about everything. What have I ever lied about? Name one thing. Not only am I always open, you can find proof to everything I've ever said. Just go and look. It's not like I make shit up, there's always links. I'm out of shape. So here we are. What's it been? I want to say 10 years of doing this in one form or another, from starting with the D&D Next 5th edition playtest at Seth's Games and Anime in 2014, and recording my Freeport campaign, the 10-year-long Freeport campaign, on Facebook, and then transitioning to YouTube and slowly growing. And that brings us to today, to finding the very first video that I could find on this channel, to April of 2017, just about hitting 100 subs. Still can see my face sitting there in Site A. Molly was still alive, God I miss her, talking about Invisible Suns, the $200 role-playing game. And back then I was extremely insulting and condescending. I mean, this just read like a scam. What do I get for $200? Some props? I mean, I love props. Nobody loves props more than I do. I love the figures, I love the miniatures, I love the maps, I love the toys. That's another thing that I think I'm alone with, because everybody else is like, theater of the mind, and I'm like, fuck theater of the mind. I want to see toys. My brain doesn't do theater of the mind. But yeah, I was extremely negative about Invisible Suns. And since then, I think one person has responded to say, oh no, they actually played Invisible Suns and it was pretty good. But yeah, $200 did seem like a lot, since half the stuff had nothing to do with the game. Like, it came with this giant statue of a hand. Did that giant statue of the hand have anything to do with the mechanics? No, it was just freaking cool. So yeah, and then it was the me eating super spicy ramen and discovering that while the spicy aspect is pretty awful, the noodles were pretty fucking amazing. Now going forward, 2,000 subs. Now obviously, like any YouTuber, the goal is 10,000 subs, right? The goal is sponsorship. That's not gonna happen, guys. Whatever the magic thing it is, I'm never gonna hit that, and I'm happy with that. I set myself a goal for 2001 subs. I think as of today I have 2002. I am grateful for the very first, and I am grateful for the most recent, and I'm even grateful for the bots. I'm grateful for every time somebody says negative shit about me on the internet, because that's free press, and I'm grateful for any time anybody says positive shit about me, because that's free press. I am humble. I'm never gonna tell you I'm better than you. I'm never gonna insult you. I might insult companies, but you know, you, my viewers, you're always gonna be welcome. This is always gonna just be a place to golf around. Now, according to tabletop role-playing at Wolf of Phototech, I promised that I would get a tattoo when I hit 2,000 subs. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, guys. I've had too many needles in my skin regularly. Besides, what would I get tattooed? The number 2,000? So yeah, then I promised I'd eat super spicy food if we hit 2,000. I was like, I could do that. I could do that during February. Valentine's Day, super spicy food. That seems to be a fit. We could do a super spicy food day. I don't know what we're gonna do, but that definitely can happen. But the big promise was, of course, no more Wizards of the Coast. An entire Wizards of the Coast month free. And people have said, well, that's dumb. First off, the minute you say that, you know Wizards of the Coast is gonna do something worth talking about. And second, nobody wants the promise of you not doing something as the incentive to join your channel. Why would I want to support you not talking about a topic? Well, I think we're all burnt out on Wizards of the Coast, right? And what am I gonna say that 100 of you aren't already saying about Wizards of the Coast? What am I gonna add to it? Only what little insight I get for being a shareholder and maybe knowing a new employee. I'm not saying I do, I'm not saying I don't. I'm just hypothetically saying I might have a new contact since my previous contact got fired at Wizards. But yeah, I mean, so for the month of February, what the no Wizards of the Coast means is I'm going to talk about other game companies for a while, because I don't think we give the other game companies enough attention. I'm mean, when was the last time we talked about Steve Jackson Games? When was the last time we talked about what Kelsey's doing with shadowdark? When was the last time we talked about Basic Expert and his game? So yeah, the Wednesday stuff is going to be, you know, and the news stuff will be replaced about talking about other game companies. Obviously, I want to shill the out of shadowdark vigilantes, or vigilantes for shadowdark, or whatever we're going to end up calling it, because we have to change the name. So I'm going to want to do that. You know, I've been watching a lot of people doing the solo play, and I was like, I could do a solo play again. I mean, we did the superhero one that didn't really do very well, and we did the a couple other ones that didn't really work very well. But you know, a lot of people are doing the solo shadowdark, the solo D&D. So I could do a solo play. I saw one guy who was designing his whole world randomly using solo play, and I was like, you know, I do have this fictional city, and going forward, that fictional city is going to be the cornerstone of all my projects, you know, Fresno, Nevada. So wouldn't it be nice if I really expanded on the Fresno, Nevada cess, gear, and ammo universe? Somebody said I should call it the OGGM, or West Coast Grognard universe. And maybe that's a good name for it, the West Coast Grognard universe. Obviously, the Fresno, Nevada universe doesn't really work. But the cess games and cess gear and ammo universe kind of works, or the SGAA universe. So that might be a name. So I was thinking we could just, you know, February, Fresno February. That seems like a no-brainer. So that's the plan at 32 minutes. What do you think? What's the one thing from my past you'd love to see me do again? What's the one thing from my past you'd never want to see me do again? What's your one thing you'd like me to do going forward? What's the one thing you never want to hear me talk about again going forward? And I hope you're as excited as I am to take a month off, to take a vacation from Wizards of the Coast, to provide a Wizards of the Coast free spa day for a month, where there's just one guy in the interweb who's saying, hey, are you tired of talking about Wizards of the Coast? You want to talk about something else? You want a nice, relaxing sit down by the pool, sip a Mai Tai, talk about, I don't know, the Cubs. It's almost baseball season. Talk about other game companies. Talk about superheroes. I mean, apparently I need to open up a Substack for Mega Power March. We're only a month away from Mega Power March, right? An entire month dedicated to superheroes in March. So yes, Fresno, February, providing you with a radio-free Wizards of the Coast. An entire month of just pulling up your comfy jammas, sitting down, relaxing, and talking about something that isn't so stress-inducing. I hope that's something people are excited about, because I'm excited to take a break from Wizards of the Coast. It is just mind-numbingly depressing to constantly just every morning wake up and go, oh, what did they do this time? Watch those numbers of my shares go lower and lower. Hear people talk about how Elon Musk is going to save Wizards of the Coast, and watch every time that mentioned, the stock goes even lower and lower, when normally when there's a buyout, stock goes up. So yeah, Fresno, February, Wizards of the Coast, free Europe, whatever you want to call it. That's going to be it, and I hope you're as excited about February as I am. Thank you to all 2002 of you, from Robert McAllister, my very first subscriber, to all my artificial bot subscribers. I love you as much as I love the real subscribers. To my most recent subscriber, and to all the potential subscribers in the future. I know it'll never happen, but let's go 10,000K by 2030. Or when's the asteroid supposed to hit? 2029? I don't know, maybe 5,000 subs by the time the asteroid's supposed to hit in 2029. But I'm happy with 2,000 subs, and I'm happy with each and every one of you for showing up. And UPS, where's my cat litter that you supposedly delivered last night? And that's about it. Here's my garden. I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you.